Hey everybody, I'm Rick, and I'm here to talk to you about a little special announcement before we start the show. Myself and my buddy Steven have created a video for a car that's just too terrible to drive anymore. And what we really need from all our Almost Friday show viewers is for you guys to go and check out the link that's posted below, right down here. You can go to that link, and then when you get there, you'll be able to see a video of me telling you about a 1997 Ford Escort that's just a complete piece of junk. Once you've watched the video, and I'm assuming you'll find it quite funny because, well, let's just say it is, you can go and vote for it. You can vote every day, and we need your votes so that we can help win and get our car thrown off a cliff so it can burst into a fiery flame and all that fun stuff. And if we do win, then we're going to record it and we're going to put it on the show for you so that you can see this car go flying off a cliff. So remember, you can vote every day, and we really need your help to get us into the top 20 so that we can make it into this contest. Hey everybody, I'm Quinn.
And I'm Scott. Welcome to the Almost Friday show for April 1st, 2010. We have a very somewhat disappointing announcement to make today.
Unfortunately, due to massive cutbacks, we've had to cut some of the segments out of our show.
And by some of the segments, we mean almost all of the segments.
So without further ado, it's time for Lull of the Week.
So this isn't Lull of the Week.
No, we actually our budget's the same. It's still nothing.
Yeah.
So you can't go down. We don't owe anyone any money, so we're still here.
So this is the real segment now, right?
It's the real segment. It's the April Fool's edition of Off the Press.
Woo!
Firing on all cylinders.
All half a cylinder that's still firing.
All 3 3/4.
Yeah, that's better than half. So to start off with, we're just going to start with some webcomics that have done some hilarious April Fool's stuff. Most notably XKCD.
Most notably, I noticed this because this is like the one webcomic I actually read.
Yeah, that's right.
So XKCD is a webcomic, obviously, on the internet. And what they did today for their April Fools blew my mind. They have what I guess they've entitled Unix KCD, Uni KCD. So basically what they've done is they've gone ahead and incorporated their website into a bash command line. So for all of you who actually know what Linux or Unix or any environment like that is, this is the most amazing thing ever. You can browse around the different directories. They have like a directory for their blog. You can actually surf the comics. If you type in like next or previous or random, it'll change comics for you. You can, if you type in like change CD, which is change directory / blog, it'll bring you to their blog. And it's actually really cool. And there's actually a petition out now to get it to stay this way permanently.
Oh God, no.
Which is awesome. I'm going to go definitely get on that like 600 times after the show.
Sure.
But we'll put the links in the show notes if you want to sign that petition. So that's it, XKCD's April Fool. And it's still online right now as of like 7, 8, 9 o'clock. April Fool's Day. So.
Thursday. Yeah, I was actually, before the show, I was playing around with it, and it took me a little bit of, like a couple seconds to figure out what the hell was going on, but once I finally got the hang of it, it was a lot of fun just to...
It's pretty neat. It's not hard to use if you're not a Unix person,
No.
but if you are a Unix person, you're like, yay.
Yay.
Next up
Is a webcomic that I like to read called Questionable Content. For today, they are now Magical Love Gentlemen.
Yes, that's right, folks. Magical Love Gentlemen.
It's a manga that one of the main characters, or not exactly main character, one of the characters enjoys. So it's really an in-joke for the fans of Questionable
I didn't get
Content.
it, and I still giggled.
They're making fun of themselves and manga, like
At the same
for
time.
girls. Yeah, at the same time, yeah. So moving on is, they do this every year.
And it's always awesome, and
It's
half the
always
time,
awesome.
half the things they make up for jokes, you just really want to
Become
have.
real.
Like the DVD to Betamax converter. Who doesn't want that?
Or the Tauntaun sleeping bag that became real earlier last year.
Yeah, but where's my DVD to Betamax converter?
Nobody wants
Exactly.
that. Nobody wants that, Scott.
This guy.
So we're obviously talking about ThinkGeek, who every year come out with hilarious new items for geeks to ask them to make for reals.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that happens now. The first couple times, like, oh, those are funny, but then we're like, okay, so which one of these you're making? Because we really need to know things. What they came up with this year: what Tribbles and Bits,
Tribbles and Bits, the Klingon cereal.
unicorn meat.
My personal favorite, and I think the top contender of what's going to be made real, is My First Bacon.
Aww, isn't that cute?
Like a bacon plushie.
I'm a big fan of the 2001 A Space Odyssey monolith action figure.
With 0 points of articulation.
Yes, that's right, because that's what you'd want. If my monolith articulated, there'd be, there'd be some problems.
I guess. They also have a Dharma Initiative clock. I'm sure if I watched Lost, that'd be
Wow, I
hilarious.
didn't even know what that was until until you just said that.
The picture we
Yes! Dharma Initiative clock!
The picture we have pulled up right now is not animated, so you
My
can't see
beef?
all the weird shit.
The Dharma clock counts down, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so what's...
It's all shown in the animation that you can find in our show notes.
It
Yeah, but
basically means every 108 minutes I have to push a button.
Okay, but this is a real
Oh
clock.
man, no, that'd be
I
the
have
best.
to push that clock's button every 108 minutes.
If it's that, then I want it. And then maybe my hatch will explode
if you don't.
if I don't push it.
Scott, we don't want your hatch to explode.
So that's the best and brightest from our friends at Thinky. You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing the Dharma clock as a real product because it's not hard to make.
It's really not.
It's not outrageous like unicorn meat.
It's clearly sparkles pressed into some dog food.
Now with magic.
Yay! Speaking of magic, a company that has a license to print money, Blizzard, every year they also come out with hilarious April Fool's stuff. This year is no exception. So my favorite thing that they did this year was the BattleNet Matchmaker, like a dating site for...
Oh, that's cute.
If you go through our show notes and click through to the link, you can watch the video for the BattleNet Matchmaker, which is pretty funny, and if you're a Blizzard nerd, you'll probably recognize like half the people there, because I'm pretty sure they just picked the devs in their office, like you, and you. Come outside, we're filming a video.
I'm personally a fan of the BattleNet neural interface, because I need all my Warcraft in my head.
Do you have an extra 15 grand?
Just
US?
lying around? No.
All
Plus,
right.
the Significant on Wayne line is sold out.
Oh, that's too bad. It comes in
Yep.
pink and silver, though.
Did they actually announce release dates for any of their products as a joke?
Oh boy.
Please release StarCraft 2.
It's in beta already. It's coming out soon. I'm in the beta. Moving on. Sticking with the WoW theme here, very popular site WoW Insider is today they are not the WoW Insider. They are the Twilight Insider, the Lady Gaga Insider, the Farmville Insider, and the Saturn 6 Insider, and we're still only at 9 p.m.
I was stoked for Farmville Insider. I'm not going to lie.
So it looks like every couple of hours they're changing what insider they are this year.
And if you don't know the actual list or order of the insiders, you can just scroll back down. All the
just
posts
keep,
are still there.
Keep scrolling. It's pretty hilarious.
Next up, I think the biggest, most planned out April Fool's joke I've seen in a long time. Google.
Google. So for a couple of hours this morning, they were the Topeka search engine.
Yep, they even changed some signs on campus.
And they even updated their picture on Street View.
Yeah, with the new signs on campus because they're Google, so they can do that.
Yeah, of course. So Scott didn't know this, but Topeka, Kansas is a city that's trying to apply for the Google Uber Fast Internet thing.
The fibers.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they changed their name to Google for a month because they really want this. So
Like 6 people live there.
at least 3, because major spoilers are from there.
At least 3.
At least 3. So it's kind of funny how Google's like, yeah, you guys are awesome. We're changing our name to yours for a couple hours.
They had a bunch more inside Google
Yeah.
within their services and
nerd
stuff.
jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one was the biggest, the most thought out anyway.
You know what else is bigger than Topeka?
The brand new sizes at Starbucks coming in at 128 fluid ounces.
And then one that's like this big.
So what were they called? The crazy Starbucks new sizes?
The Plenty and the Micra.
Nice. So funny story. I read this on the Starbucks Twitter this morning and believed it and got excited. So touche, Starbucks.
The Plenta looks like, like the bucket of chicken you get at KFC.
It looks like a rebranded KFC bucket.
It does. Wow.
The lid would be outrageous on that thing. And then the Micra is like,
It's an espresso cup.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like I don't
Meh.
know. Touche for beating me, Starbucks, but really,
I think they, in somewhat seriousness, rumor has it they are launching a 30-ounce cup.
which is awesome. That's enough coffee to last me from the time I get it
That's
to getting
absurd.
to work.
I'd have to take like 2 bathroom breaks between getting my cup and finishing it.
I'd get 2. I have a coffee problem, people. Don't
It
judge.
really does. So, just to finish off our April Fool's segment,
The absolute greatest and bestest April Fool joke of all.
the iPad.
Hello everyone, I'm Dave,
I'm Sam.
and this is From the Gutters. This week we're going to be talking about Volume 1 of Scott Pilgrim, Precious Little Life. And this one, it's written by Brian Lee O'Malley, and it is also illustrated by Brian Lee O'Malley, so he's the creator. In that term, every now and then I'm going to use the term creator rather than illustrator or writer. That just means they did both. It's a black and white book, fair length.
Manga style, I guess that's the easiest way to describe it.
Yeah, sort of a Mara manga.
Yeah.
Brief rundown of the story. There's this guy that introduces Scott Pilgrim, 24 years old. He is unemployed. He's kind of a leech, really.
He's not unemployed, he's in between jobs.
So he's a bum. Okay.
Yeah. Who lives with his
His gay roommate,
gay roommate Wallace.
Wallace, and is dating at the inception of this story a girl named Knives, who is 17 years old, Chinese, and doesn't really seem to know or have any kind of sense of self beyond who she might be dating. One of those kinds of girls might possibly fixate on whoever she's dating, gets her personality from whoever she's dating.
Yeah.
There are all sorts of other things, like there's the subspace dreaming that...
near like about 2/3 of the way through the book, this book stopped being like stopped being a series, not serious, but like stopped being a drama and just kind of took a left turn at fantasy sci-fi, and it was like
fantasy sci-fi slash video games.
video game slash
8-bit games.
kind of like The Matrix, and I liked it, but I'm confused.
It was a little confusing. I found it a little uneven, the writing a little uneven. But again, it's the first volume of a book that Brian Lee O'Malley may not have been certain where it was going, at least at the very beginning. It goes on to him dating this girl who takes shortcuts through his dreams to deliver packages for Amazon.ca.
Yeah.
And after that, it sort of deals with his, the terms of his dating
Yeah, dating.
this girl. She says to him, "You have to defeat my 7 exes.
7 evil exes.
7 evil exes.
Yeah.
So I have to fight your defeat my 7 evil exes."
That scene is actually done pretty well in the trailer for the movie of this.
Very much so. There are a lot of scenes in the trailer that actually
Are lifted from
might
the
as
books.
well have been storyboarded by.
Yeah.
This and here's the book and there's your storyboard.
Yeah.
Gonna save some money for this. And then it ends. There's a fight. He fights the first of the evil exes, Mr. Matthew Patel.
And he drops $2.18.
Yes.
It's like in a video
It's
game.
not even enough for subway fare. So, this book, the art. Before we get into the artwork, what did you think of the writing for this? What did you think of the story?
I found that some parts it's kind of blazed through, and some parts like, oh, this is pretty dry. And then, like I said before, I got a little bit confused once all the magic and the weird synchronized dancing stuff started happening.
Yeah, it's funny. It really takes you off guard because it started off and it reminded me of a book called Blankets,
Okay.
drama, teen drama,
Mm-hmm.
and it just sort of goes woo.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe O'Malley was sitting there and he was like, okay, I'm gonna write this book, and then all of a sudden decided, or if he was sort of luring the reader in, thinking
Yeah.
This is going to be one of those emo teen books.
Books that 13-year-old girls would like.
Yeah. So, liked it, didn't like it? All in all?
Story-wise, I liked it. I will keep reading the rest of the series, so it's doing its job as a first issue.
Cool.
What do you think about the art?
The artwork is, as you said, also done by Brian Lee O'Malley. I'm not a manga specialist. There were some parts that were really weak, I thought. Taking it from someone with fine art training, I would say that there are weak spots that he has not quite figured out exactly what the human body does. I understand, yes, that it's a cartoon,
Yeah.
but I'm wondering what his training is. And the thing is that continues through the rest of the
really?
series. He doesn't seem to have taken time to go to school or anything like that, too. Which I can understand because it's a successful book.
Yeah. Well, the style is also very, very cartoony.
Yes.
It's kind of, I found it a little bit not disturbing, but distracting at first because I was having a hard time between Scott and Wallace and the guys in his band.
Especially.
Yeah, the girls and then the guys in his band.
So there were funny moments in this.
Oh, hilarious moments.
Earlier, this book is so surprisingly quotable.
Surprisingly quotable, and I really liked all the Toronto jokes.
It's Toronto. They're not even pretending it's anything other than Toronto.
Yeah, there's a lot of like Canadian in jokes or Toronto jokes for people who've either lived in Toronto or know Toronto or get a kick out of this.
Yeah. I'll just give you a brief sort of mention of the rest of the series. It in the other books, it does get a little slow in between fights.
Oh.
And I find myself reading it thinking, okay, it's time for the next fight. Let's go. Come on.
Come on, let's move it along.
Yeah. But all in all, what do you give this book?
This is just the first issue, so I don't know, maybe like the art was really distracted, so maybe like a B-, a C. Hopefully it gets better throughout the rest of the series. Like, it's just first issue showed, so you're just introducing the characters, not much time for plot movement. So it's a tentative B-, with room for improvement.
With the uneven flow of the book, I'm going to be giving it a C. I was going to give it a C+, but remember that was a soft drink, and
Delicious.
soft drinks for me.
I love that soft drink.
So that's about it. The rest of the series, though, just as a quick mention, it does go well, but like I said, hang on through the slow parts. It does pay off.
Good to know.
And that's it this week from the gutters.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tech Insight. This week, we're going to start off with a few minor corrections from last week. We talked about Win Mobile because they're launching service in Ottawa.
You like to mess things up.
Oh, yeah, it happens. So we said that it was a GSM carrier, which is true, but it should be heavily noted that they are on the AWS spectrum, which is Advanced Wireless Spectrum, I think.
Something like that.
It is AWS, that's right. And that's basically the 1700 and 2100 megahertz spectrums. So you have to make sure that if you want to bring your phone to Win Mobile, that it can work on those spectrums. A lot can't.
Yeah.
iPhone can't.
Oh.
Basically, if you have a quad
Milestone
band, you're
can't.
usually good.
Yeah. So like a lot of the BlackBerries will be okay, the newer BlackBerries. If you got like a world phone.
Now, I did talk to one of the Wind representatives last week, actually just after our show, and he said that he kind of let rumor to me that the iPhone, the new one, was going to have more bands on it because he said that they're deciding to play friendly. So that's kind of an iPhone rumor that it might work on, might be a quad band phone now because it isn't right now.
Wouldn't be surprising because there's a lot of carriers in the States that want to get their hands on the iPhone.
Yeah.
And Apple likes to please, usually. It's
No.
an AT&T thing, but that's another discussion. Out of the iPhone territory into Android territory,
Yay.
Sam's got some maybe almost exciting news.
Maybe almost kind of for some people exciting news. So 2.1 starting today was actually starting to be pushed out to phones for just the Droid, not the Milestone. More on that later.
Okay.
So just the Droid. So you're getting 2.1, most of you, between now and in 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's a scattered.
And they don't
release.
they're not giving you any heads up as to who's getting it when?
No,
or-
but there's a very, very easy way of installing it yourself. No rooting necessary. It's as easy as turning off your phone, pressing 2 buttons, and putting.
Now, is
files
this
to
way
it.
Motorola approved? Or is it kind of a wink,
Verizon.
nudge, nudge kind of thing? Or
It's Verizon saying, "Here's the update file."
okay, so it's on official channels, I guess.
Yeah, it's very official channels.
So, any word on the Milestone?
For Canada, the Motorola Canada website has said that they are looking into it, and it will be coming soon.
So who the hell knows?
I think I had heard that some of the UK carriers, because I think it's also called the Milestone in
Yeah,
the
it is.
UK.
It
Anything
is.
where it's a GSM network.
A
is
couple of the
Milestone.
UK carriers were pushing it out right now,
Oh, that's
or,
good.
or soonish. So
Probably
I-
O2.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we'll probably see.
Yeah,
it soon.
it's. I read today that when Motorola says it's coming soon, it's a lot sooner than when, let's say Blizzard says coming soon. So
Just hating on Blizzard today, but they've earned it.
So hopefully.
StarCraft Ghost. I mean, come on.
So TELUS is going to work on 2.1 for a couple of years, and then they'll stop, and then they'll say, yeah, no, moving on. So how it's going to go. So hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll have 2.1 hands-on for you guys to watch. So
There's a few cool new features now. It should be noted that 2.1 is running on the Nexus 1, correct?
I think maybe.
I'm pretty sure.
I think so. Yeah.
Which is half the problem with the Android market, because half the phones run different versions.
That's a different
and,
problem.
Yeah, which we could get into once we get some more Android phones in Canada.
Woo! Other than the 3 or 4 that we have now.
Yeah, some of them are pretty old.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move there back to Apple. It's iPhone rumor time. So finally, we've been whining about it a little bit. I think I whined about it last show or something. Oh, that was the iPad talk. I want some iPhone rumors.
Yeah, I mean, both of us being iPhone owners and both of us being able to possibly get new phones come around November timeframe.
We're both still stuck on the 3G,
Yeah.
not the 3GS.
It's not bad.
It's slow.
I've been finding mine's been
guess,
running
yeah.
better than most days recently, but either way, we've been kind of surprised that there hasn't been anything yet, because
Yeah.
usually by January
You've heard everything.
it starts building. At the very least, you've heard some stuff. But now we're into March, and we're just finally starting to hear stuff, because now the Apple's like, well, the iPad's out.
Yeah.
They can finally focus on sort of
So-
unleashing a little bit of information.
What basically happened is the Wall Street Journal published this article kind of just dropping pieces of information. Like the Wall Street Journal is a pretty big paper.
Didn't they quote it as their reputable source instead of a
Their-
real source?
They quoted their source from a company, like a Japanese or Chinese company that makes the iPhones.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes the current iPhones. So they're saying, okay, well, obviously this guy's going to know what's going on.
guess.
But they didn't drop a name or anything. So basically we're looking at cool new iPhone features, third-party multitasking. So right now you can multitask with like your iPod or whatever, but we're looking at full implementation of multitasking, finally. Not that I would want it on the current gen phones, because it'd probably be, I'd abuse it.
It'd be a
get laggy.
battery suck.
Yeah. There's been talk about the front-facing camera, which there has been talk about for a while.
Yeah.
That was rumored on the 3GS, I think.
I think they're probably doing it. I mean, if they do it now, it's because they know they want to start competing with things like the HTC Evo and stuff.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, every time these phones come out, it's become such an aggressive market for phones. If you don't come out and try to beat everything from the last phone that just came out, then you're already one step behind when you come out of the gate.
It's like an arms race for technology in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing. What else? We're talking a bigger screen, bigger resolution, again, to compete with things like
Similar to the Droid.
like the
design.
Droid, the Nexus 1, the Evo, which have all come out with much bigger, much nicer screens than the
Beautiful
current
screens.
iPhone has. Then they're talking about a possible CDMA iPhone, which would mean an iPhone for Verizon in the States.
Oh, that doesn't make a lot of sense. That seems like a
That's-
step backwards.
That's a very limited, that's a very limited market though. CDMA
Well,
phone.
okay,
Well-
CDMA is the 2G technology.
Yeah.
It would still be 3G, so the speeds would be the same
Oh, okay.
on the internet.
Just
Okay.
incompatible with
But
Verizon.
it would work with Verizon's network, which may play to what we were thinking before with the Win Mobile, is maybe they're just going to adopt
Possibly.
a more universal antenna chipset.
Bell's gonna be like, damn it, you made us change for nothing?
But up here in Canada, our three major players already switched to GSM, 3G, HSPA networks, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever.
to us. So Verizon, if you get one, good for you. We don't really care.
Good for you.
And all that's rumored to be announced on June 22nd.
Which wouldn't be surprising. That's an appropriate date considering its history in the past for a June June release and a later July sort of.
And it's a Tuesday,
Yeah.
which helps because Apple does everything on Tuesdays. Why? I don't know.
Because Mondays suck and they don't want to be associated with Hump Day on Wednesday.
Ask Steve. Steve's kind of he's got a thing. So from the iPhone to the all dreaded iPad. So we're actually talking about the Fujitsu iPad.
Yeah, so Fujitsu has had the patent, or not patent, but the
trademark
the
on the
trademark
name.
on the name of the iPad for quite some time, back to 2002, if I remember correctly.
Something like that. It's been a while.
Now, the history for that is that it's been a little bit of a it's a little bit shady. There were some times where it was owned. There were some times where it sort of went into recession because it wasn't really being used.
Or they didn't renew it, or whatever. Yeah.
But nonetheless, Fujitsu sort of claimed that they owned the name iPad and was like, "Hey, Apple, you can't do that." We didn't really know what was going to happen. At first, it seemed like Fujitsu had kind of glazed over because the iPad came out and it wasn't until like 4 days later that someone from Fujitsu was like, "Oh, wait.
Wait a second, we own
that name. What's going on here?"
Come back here.
And it kind of sounds like the way it was released that some guy who probably worked on the iPad at Fujitsu was like, "Hey, we have one already.
Yeah.
Someone going to do something about this?"
No, I bet like some senior, like some guy that's been in the company for like 10 years, be like, this name sounds familiar. Picks up whatever's lying on his desk. Hey, Jim, can you call up legal?
Yeah, can you call Steve Jobs because
Yeah.
he's stealing our shit?
Well, we'll show you a picture here of what the Fujitsu iPad is. Basically, it's sort of a
It's
portable.
it's like a portable
point of sale.
cash. It's like a portable cash register, more or
Yeah.
less, for like credit swipes. It looks very similar to what they use at the Apple Store.
Yeah, more or less.
So it's something that you might see at a restaurant. or
Yeah,
something
it's like a
where
PDA. It's Windows CE based, and it's
Okay.
got a credit card swiper. It's used a lot because it has embedded Windows.
Yeah.
So for like customized point of sale at restaurants or whatever.
It's been around forever. And what ended up happening basically is that Fujitsu came out and said, "Hey, look, we're going to do something about this," and everything went quiet for a while.
Yeah.
And then this week, Fujitsu came out and said, "Okay, yeah, now Apple owns the name. Everything's done behind closed doors. They did not disclose what happened, whether there was payments that
Nobody
changed
knows
hands or
anything.
So they just gave him
whatever.
a big sack of money.
Well, there's two ways they can look at it. There was already some, shadiness to whether or not they still own that name anymore because of their trademark on the name kind of going into recession and stuff.
Okay.
So it either could have been that Apple's like, look, it's way more important that we have it. Here's, $3-4 million for the name or whatever, which is, chump change for Apple. Or they were legitimately like, look, we can prove that this can't belong to you anymore, and Fujitsu's just like, all right, well, we don't want it to come out that we were just stupid and can keep up with our legal, and so let it go. So that's, because it's behind closed doors and they haven't announced anything, it really could be on both sides of the table.
It could be literally anything for whoever's benefit. So we'll probably never know, but
nonetheless, the iPad now exists on the Apple tablet. You all know what that looks like, and some of you might have it in your hands sooner.
some of you have it right now if you're in America and you're one of those lucky bastards who has a pre-release.
Yeah.
Not us. So from the iPad, we're going to talk a little gaming news, a little sadness. We've been talking about always adding features, which is awesome. We like when we have something, and without paying anything, it gets better. But Sony has decided to take the complete opposite approach and take away a feature. The latest update is 3.21. That shipped today, which is Thursday the 1st. So that's being pushed to your PS3 now. If you have a slim PS3, you're completely unaffected because you never had this feature to begin with.
Yeah.
If you have an old PS3 and you're a Linux guy, you're going to be a little upset because that there's a little screen option in the menu where you can install other OS. Which when I bought my PS3, I thought that was cool. I knew I was never going to use it, but I thought that was neat to have.
But the option was there.
Yeah, I'm like, it's
in case you ever needed it.
Exactly.
In case you ever needed to run a supercomputer or anything, it's there.
Which apparently lots of people use PS3s for because they're cheap and they have really sweet processing power.
Yeah.
But I had thought that, it's a cool feature. I like that they're allowing this as opposed to making it a hack. That's gone now. If you upgrade to 3.21, you won't be able to do that. That menu item will just go away. If you have anything installed, it will be bricked.
What?
Be installed.
Oh, okay.
Not your PS3.
So you can still.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
oh, good. So you
Yeah.
can still play your games. And,
Yeah, because
all right.
what you had to do without a hack is turn on the PS3 and then
So
boot the other OS.
if you don't upgrade your PS3, is the only
Your
thing
loss
is
is you
can't-
won't be able to use the PlayStation
you won't-
Network.
Okay, so you won't be able to play online.
So you can't play online, you can't look at any of your trophies, you
Okay,
can't
so you can
update your
still-
profile, can't download demos.
So you can still run a supercomputer and play a couple of games on the side.
Yeah, and I mean, if
Okay.
you're using the PS3 as a computer, you probably don't really care because you
No.
probably haven't upgraded the firmware since you bought it.
Yeah, you're
But-
probably not playing games all the time.
If, let's say, you like a little Linux on the side, but you're also using it as a Blu-ray player, that's going to be a problem because
Oh,
they
really?
also push Blu-ray updates in those firmware updates.
Huh.
So if a new version of Blu-ray gets released,
That being said, I haven't updated my PS3 in probably 5 months, and I can still play Blu-rays.
I never update my PS3 because it's annoying and
So
takes forever.
it's probably not something that's going to be too
I think
much of a concern.
I updated it once.
Well,
when I
it will
plugged
be
in.
if you're looking to do 3D.
Yeah, I guess, yes.
When that comes, but
Don't worry about it.
That
really-
only applies to, like,
Yeah.
1.5% of you.
it's a tiny market to begin with. I'm not saying that it's thrashing to PS3 users everywhere, but I cringe inside every time we lose a feature.
Yeah.
That's just unnecessary.
However, the hacker for the iPhone is apparently working on a workaround.
On PS3, yeah. Apparently, there's people that work on it. Obviously, if the people are passionate enough about this, those are the right kind of people to fix this problem.
Well, the type of people that would mod their PS3s are probably
Yeah.
there's like pretty overlapping Venn
Yeah,
diagram
it's-
with people that would use.
Although still not a mod, installs great. But anyway, I digress. Just don't like to see a lost feature. Damn you, Sony! How dare you? And we're gonna wrap up with a quick note on the iPad. This is weird for a launch.
Although I'm not surprised Best Buy is doing it.
No, because they
Of
have
all the people to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
So what's going down is Best Buy is going to have iPads for sale on launch day, and actually a few select Apple authorized resellers will as well.
Okay.
Not a lot, and they're not going to have a lot of stock.
I imagine.
But they did make that note. The press release is linked in the
Yeah.
show notes from
So
Apple.
how many iPads should we expect at our local Best Buy?
At the Best Buys, I'm not really sure. It's going to depend on the
Yeah.
store. It's going to
Yeah.
depend on how busy it is. I'm assuming similar stocking levels to Apple stores.
I would assume they'd have less than Apple. Apple likes to keep a lot of stock for themselves.
I don't know. It'd be interesting. Good for Best Buy. They've been selling a lot of Apple products. They have those big, pretty Apple booths. And
Well, I
stuff
think
now, and
Ottawa is a little bit of an exception since we didn't get an actual Apple store until very recently. I think.
well, a lot of places don't have Apple stores,
Yeah.
right? And then I mean, Ottawa had 3 Best Buys.
Yeah, exactly.
So in Ottawa, there's probably more stock at Best Buy.
Yeah.
If
well,
they do that
collectively.
internationally.
Well, there's
'Cause
less. There's less now because of the
and-
Apple store.
And they haven't announced whether this is going to be for the universal worldwide launch. That's just specifically in America. I would assume it would
America.
move over because we got Best Buy in Canada and other countries as well.
Yep.
So that's everything to wrap up. A little Apple heavy. I apologize. It's
If you get
gonna
an
happen.
iPad on release day, send us an email. Tell us how you like it.
Yeah, especially if you're
Or what
American.
you don't like about it.
Yeah.
Because we won't be able to get our hands on one for a long time because I don't think any of us ever want one.
No.
But we would like to play with it, or at least hear about people who have played with it. So that's it from Tech Insight. Coming up next, we're going behind the lens.
Hey everybody, this is Behind the Lens. This week, I'm going to start it off by talking about a really wicked, awesome decal you can get for your MacBook. I mean, you could put it on a Dell or something, anything that uses sort of a circular middle logo, it would work on.
I think it looks the coolest on the MacBook.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So this is basically a Nikon mode dial that you can find on the top of, say, the Nikon D5000 and the D3000, for instance. Actually, not the D3000. It's from the D5000. But basically, the artist had made one for Canon, and everyone was in uproar because they wanted Nikon ones instead.
Because we know how big that battle is.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the need to want to represent your own camera, but being a guy that works with cameras every day, yeah, the symbols are a little bit different, but they're not that friggin' different, okay? And I understand maybe you want M, A, S, and P, because that's a Nikon thing, because Canon likes to use M, A, V, T, S, and P, and whatever, or TV, I should say. So, I mean, if you're really picky about wanting to have the right modes on the back of your laptop. Nonetheless, there's a Canon one available, there's a Nikon one available, and also, if you want to go retro old school, there's a Leica one available, which is really cool. It basically has a bunch of shutter speeds plus a bulb mode.
Nice.
So no scene modes for there. That shows that you like your manual film cameras and you want to do things your way. I think they go for about $9. You can buy them on Etsy. That's ESTY. Very popular site for basically homemade things like T-shirts and
Yeah.
stickers and all that kind of stuff. But I think they're $9 US, which is a pretty decent price for
For a
vinyl
decal
sticker.
that looks like that, it's pretty good. Yeah.
She also has a bunch of really other awesome stickers, all centering around Apple logos. The one I like is a pair of ants that are carrying the apple away, which is pretty funny. And there's some dragons and some stuff like that as well. And you should check it out. Last week we talked about the Polaroid, the Impossible Project Polaroid film. It seems like they've done us one step better. Not only are they offering the film, but they are offering a package that includes the film and the camera in a box together.
Now, is this a new produced camera?
Well, yes, it's a special edition Polaroid camera that they have sort of designed. I mean, it's very standard looking, but it's got its own color scheme and everything. We'll bring up another picture here of what it looks like from the front. I mean, it's a good-looking camera. I mean, it looks like a Polaroid.
It looks,
It's big like a Polaroid, but it's a little more stylish, a little bit more modern than some of the Polaroid cameras are.
Yeah.
So you get the camera in the box as well as a pack of film. I believe the pack of film has 10 shots on it. However, it's $180 US, which is a lot for 10 shots and a camera.
But it's exactly what we're saying. This is going to be a huge niche thing. I mean, they're the only company making this stuff right now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be...
So if you want to get your hands on a
expected,
brand new, Polaroid camera, then that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Because it's the only way to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, from cameras that take photos with film to cameras that take photos with digital, like the rest of the world uses.
So we got an Olympus this week.
We do. Normally, I don't like Olympuses because normally my reviews about Olympuses are all it's good, but it uses an XD card, so don't buy it.
I noticed this does not.
It does not. This year, Olympus changed their entire lineup and finally decided to stop using an XD card, which is the best decision they've ever made as a company. Sony did the same thing. Also the best decision they ever did as a company. Now, all the cameras use SD cards. Yay for standardization.
But do they all use the same image format?
Well, no, but that's a less
It's
troubling issue.
Yeah, that's true.
But what's nice about this, guys, it uses the SD card, but on top of that, it has 2 gigs of internal memory. So out of the box, you don't really need to buy an SD card for it. But I will point out the big thing about this, and by big, I really mean large.
He means big, yeah.
It has 30 times optical zoom. 30 times optical zoom. That's more zoom than any other point-and-shoot camera currently has. And on top of that, it doesn't really get very big in that 30 times optical zoom.
No, that's fully zoomed there.
In comparison to some other cameras.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as Scott has probably seen, it's got a pretty retro-styled look to it. It's silver. It's sort of pulling some styling cues from their EP1 line right now.
I kind of like the styling. It is a little retro. I mean, it's got like the retro grip there on the side and things like that. But
and I find the grip's really comfortable.
The grip's really comfortable.
Which is nice.
It kind of sticks out a bit, which when I first picked it up, I thought was a little weird. But it does sit, like I have pretty big hands, and it does sit nice in there. And it's, I mean, considering you have the big lens as well, you don't feel like you're going to drop it or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah. But what's nice about it, too, is although it has 30 times optical zoom, it's a relatively compact
it's not,
high-zoom camera.
It's not terribly big, yeah.
It's got a big 2.8-inch widescreen on the back. Although it only has a 230,000 dot resolution, which is pretty standard for these cameras, I find that the display is impressively sharp regardless. I don't know what they're doing, if it's somehow coding or something like that, but it looks sharper than the average 230K dot screen. Now, this is sort of something that we've seen in a couple of these kind of cameras recently. Although it is bigger, they have gotten rid of the viewfinder.
That's true,
most of the time you end up having with these larger cameras because you have the room for it. But, I mean, I don't think it's a big issue because you do have the larger screen. Other than that, you're looking at 14 megapixels. It's a regular 28mm wide angle, so you got pretty decent wide angle on it.
Yep.
Shoot 720p video. We're starting to see more of that in the cameras, which is nice as well. Overall, I mean, what do you think about it as far as holding your hand and you were playing around with it, taking some pictures before?
Usability, it's pretty easy to go. I think it's going to be something not for the everyday person.
Yeah, it's really someone that wants the higher zoom.
Yeah, the zoom's really nice. It's got a few macro modes on there. I noticed that's a nice feature to have when you have a big lens.
Yeah.
I would shoot with it. It's really comfortable. It's really nice to have that zoom, especially if you're trying to do like sports for your kids or whatever.
Definitely. I mean, it's good for hockey and stuff like that. I think my only negatives on this camera at this point, image quality at the full 30 times is a little lacking.
The focus was a little weird.
It's harder at that 30 times, and it uses ISO boosting to get that sharper photo. Now, the image stabilization does work really well, but again, at the result of it being a little bit higher noise. So that's sort of my problem with it. It does have a really nice quick burst mode at 5 megapixels and about 2.5 frames per second average shooting. You don't have any manual modes with it, no shutter speed control or aperture control, which you typically get with these kind of cameras. So there are a couple of things missing from it in comparison to other stuff, but it goes for $349, which is a really good price point for a camera that has right now the most zoom.
Now, what do you think for this as a video camera? Because it's got the nice optics, it's got good zoom, 720p, it's got HDMI out on the side.
I think it's a good contender, especially if you want to shoot some high definition footage. Just because of that extra zoom, it's gonna be good for the kids playing soccer and hockey and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, overall, I think if I would have to give it a rating, I'd probably give it a B+. Because I think Olympus has done a great job with this camera, and I don't usually get excited about Olympus cameras, but they've made the changes I've been arguing about for years now, and they really have a good package with this guy at a good price. So.
Sorry, what was the price again?
$349.
$349. That's not too bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, it comes in about $100 cheaper than a lot of the other cameras, Nikon's top end, Panasonic's top end, and Canon's top end high zoom cameras.
Not too bad.
For the feature set, I think it's a good price point.
All right.
So that wraps up Behind the Lens this week, and we'll be right back with Law of the Week. Welcome to Law of the Week. Last week I showed you a brief clip of what Adobe's Content Aware Fill could do.
And it was awesome.
Yes, some magical things.
Very magical.
It built desert out of no desert, among other things. We have a viewer that decided to make, we'll say a spoof video, because clearly he doesn't have access to Content Aware Fill. And he looks like he's running Photoshop 7, which is, a couple generations behind.
That's the one I'm running.
Nonetheless, he makes a pretty good joke about what Content Aware Fill can do for him. He starts by finishing some homework, makes himself some sandwich, and then invites some hot women into his room.
After cleaning his room.
After cleaning his room, yes.
To make it more presentable to these hot women.
Indeed. So we'll play you a small clip from that, and you can check out the full clip for more.
You can see here I've got some ingredients laid out, but a sadly empty plate. If I'm hungry, this is no good. So let's see what our little friend Content Aware Fill can do here. Bring out the lasso tool and circle this little sad empty plate here. Right? Just up like that. And hit delete again with the Content Aware Fill. And that'll take just a minute through there. And wonderful! It's made a sandwich, which is exactly what I intended it to do. So clearly this is a very smart algorithm we're looking at here. I can see that it's used the cheese, the spinach, and the chicken in here. That looks like a delicious sandwich. Fantastic.
I don't know about you, but I can think of lots of other awesome ways I could use Content Aware Fill. I could use it to fix my car when it needs repairs. That would be great. Because
that would be great.
That's time-consuming and labor-intensive, and I don't want to do it.
I would mostly just want it to make me a sandwich, because I'm kind of hungry right now.
I could have it feed my cats when they want to get fed. Because
I can have it feed my dad's rabbit.
Yes. I don't know if it'll sing to your dad's rabbit, though.
Maybe.
I think that's pushing Content Aware Fill a little bit.
That's the new Adobe.
Adobe Animal Pleaser.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's coming out. It'll be in CS6.
Yep.
Just watch for it. It's there. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the show this week. As per usual, you can hit us up on our Twitter feed, which is almost_Friday. You can check out our website at www.almostfridayshow.com. Or you can send us an email at contact@almostfridayshow.com if you want to tell us what you think Content Aware Fill should fix for you. Until next time, make sure to spay and neuter your pets.